VIP. Stretching early morning, this hard work isn't foreign. Natties and scholarships, ain't nothing else important. Passion to be the best, dance I'm menage on the wrist. Passe, stay high and tight, Miss T, don't play that mess up. Gotta prove your worth in class to be center stage. I put in time on these fortes, and I'm minute-made. Stay on point in every style, let me demonstrate. Second to none, and I put that on the quasi. I gotta give it my all. I wanna be responsible for one of the plaques on the wall. One trophy ain't enough, need my name engraved on the mall. Nothing's out of my reach. Miss T lace me with this pour the bra. Strong core on point, but I never fall. Shall say to the phone whenever destiny calls. Cause I wanna be the GOAT. So whether they on stage or in class, the mission's no look. 777s, yeah, you know who we are. Expectations for greatness, aiming them for Mars. So at minimum, we landing on the stars. Yesterday's limits ain't today, so we gotta raise the bar. 777s, yeah, you know who we are. Expectations for greatness, aiming up for Mars. So at minimum, we landed on the stars. Yesterday's limits ain't today, so we gotta raise the bar. Dream is a dream, work the hamstring. Solo at national, my team can trust me. Every day, trying to level up the repertoire. So every class, you know that we gotta raise the bar.
All right, welcome back, you guys. I'm joined by a lot more cast members this time around. I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves and start with you.
Hi, I'm Landon.
Hi, I'm Bella.
I'm Taylor Rose.
Hi, I'm Camille. Hi, I'm Navi.
What's up? I'm Christian.
Hi, I'm Sydney.
Hi, I'm Taryn. Hi, I'm Shayla. Hi, I'm Erin.
Hi, I'm Miss Tamara.
Now that we have everyone here, we have a lot to discuss. Y'all, so much happened on season 3. Do you feel like there was just like a lot more going on this season than the other ones?
It was a lot more like competitions.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. Well, speaking of competitions, I want to talk to y'all about nationals and obviously, you know, how that went too. Okay, so I wanted to know when you were preparing for nationals and you found out that the productions had to be adjusted, what was going through y'all's minds when y'all found that out?
It was, I don't know, it was a lot of emotions because coming from like going from numbers to like 8 minutes all the way down to 4, it was a lot of work trying to adjust. And for me, I feel like it was a lot. People were confused and it was, I don't know. But we got it done. It was amazing to cut it. Not really amazing to cut it, but I don't know, we still won. We still did our best, and I feel like it was just, I don't know, it was just too much.
Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of too much, just from you guys, what were some of the things, did anything worry you when all that was going on? What kept you calm? What, did anything really freak you out, or how did you handle it behind the scenes?
Taylor freaked me out.
Why?
She was sitting over there stressing. She just kept yelling at me.
Well, because I feel like they have to. I think at 777 we definitely pride ourselves on our dancers being able to pivot no matter what, like in any type of aspect. And it's not just in our world that this happens, but when they go out to a professional world, it's going to be a week before you have to perform behind Beyonce, before you have to perform behind Katy Perry. Like, they're going to change the choreography, or they're going to take out a song out of the whole set. And you have to be able to adjust. So, I mean, yeah, I definitely burned into their heads that they needed to be able to adjust a little bit quicker than what they were doing. And I think they worry themselves too much. Like, taking an 8-minute dance to a 4-minute dance is really a blessing, because now you can put all of your energy into the beginning. You don't have to worry about having to do 4 more minutes after. So, yeah.
Okay. With everything going on, all the changes and whatnot, do y'all feel like it was still pretty well organized, or what do you think?
I feel like we adjusted pretty quickly, and I'm thankful that we won. And yeah, I feel like we did amazing with it.
Yeah. Okay. So when y'all showed up for rehearsals for nationals, what were you thinking going into that? Like, what was your first thought?
My first thought when we were going into nationals rehearsals was like, we just need to lock in because it's going to be a lot different from regionals. Because like regionals, it's like, yeah, it's like, but we're only going against people in like Atlanta and maybe like neighboring states. But nationals, it's like we're going against people from like all over. So it's like we need to lock in because we already knew that Taylor was going to be a lot harder on us than when we were at regionals.
Okay. What about from y'all's perspective? What were y'all thinking going into the nationals?
There was a lot of moving parts. I think just logistically wise, making sure we read the rules. Carr was really adamant on us signing contracts this season.
Oh, wow.
Going into nationals.
Is that something they've never done before?
They've never done this before. And they asked us like 3 or 4 times. Like I ignored it. They sent me another email. I ignored that one. Like I'm not signing no contracts. And then they called me and then they said, we need you to sign the contract to agree that you have read the rules. So when they told us that, we took our time, about 2 to 3 days, to diligently read through a 14-page contract.
Yeah, wow.
And then go through all our music and then listen to our music to make sure it didn't violate anything in the contract. So since it was, Carr was our first nationals to go to, although Showstopper did not give us those same restrictions, we knew that we were going straight into Showstopper after. So we just said whatever changes we make for Carr will be the same changes we make for Showstopper.
Okay.
So it was kind of logistically, it was hard going into when we thought this was going to be something easy to go into. It's just replacing people that are not going to go to nationals and just make the dances a little bit cleaner.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah, I think it was definitely going into nationals. We not really worry about anything. I think at Carr and at Showcase, it was like watching the dances and seeing how can we make dances that are already great better. And I think as a rehearsal director and a choreographer, as I was stepping into each of the rehearsals, it was like, what words do the kids understand that like trigger them to do better? And that was really it, just like figuring out what was going to push them to that point to be better. Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing I want to ask y'all about is having 2 nationals back to back. That's a big deal. Would you do that again? Would you advise it? What was it like, Taryn?
Well, I would definitely do it again, but it was a lot different because last time they did 2 nationals, I didn't get to go to both. So this time around, actually being able to go to both, it was really fun. It was definitely a different experience, and we definitely had to take care of our bodies to like another extent because it's a lot of dancing and a lot of back to back and traveling.
Okay. What about you, Navi?
I feel like I really liked it because the mistakes I made on the first nationals, I could fix them and go to the second nationals and win everything again.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Speaking of winning again, y'all did a great job. Despite everything that was going on, no one would ever really know behind the scenes. What is it like to be a part of a dance company where these things can go wrong, but y'all can still manage to come out and do a good job and impress the judges?
It feels nice. Like it feels really good coming out, even though if we like don't do one turn well, we still need to pull up, or we had a point here, or we didn't really feel like we did our best here. Cause just coming together and all together and coming out of one mindset, saying that like, okay, maybe we didn't do good this time, but for the next dance, we're just gonna come together and just do it, just dance, don't even think about it. And when we do mess up, everyone picks each other up. You did fine. Let's just come together and execute this next dance. And at the end of the day, when we do win, it's just like we were stressing over what.
So would y'all say that maybe preparing for nationals kind of fuels you and helps you stay motivated? And if so, how and why?
Like staying motivated while we prepare for nationals. I just feel like it's just something we lead up to from the beginning of the season and something to work towards. So just finally getting there, it just seems like we did all the hard work and now we can just go there and do what we know how to do and just win. So it's a really good feeling to end the season off that.
Yeah. How about you, Erin? What was your favorite part of nationals?
Probably traveling and dancing.
Yeah. Which one? Which competition was your favorite? Carr or Showstopper?
My favorite was Carr.
Yeah. And what was it about that one that you liked the most?
I liked traveling.
Okay.
To
Tennessee. Okay, just finding it.
to Tennessee. And I feel like it was good.
Yeah.
Okay, so getting ready for nationals is a big deal, and Miss Tamara, Miss Taylor, all the adults here, they do a lot to get y'all there and prepared. They actually drove the U-Haul. Did y'all know they drove the U-Haul?
Yes.
What did y'all think about that?
Well, I felt like I kind of felt bad because usually like someone else, like a pop dad or maybe like a male dance teacher drives the U-Haul. So I really kind of felt bad that they had to drive our props all the way down there because that was not an easy drive to Tennessee at all.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I was kind of scared for them because like there's really heavy props in the U-Haul and they had to drive up a lot of hills in Tennessee, so I was praying for them.
Oh, that's sweet.
Just for the record, I drive the U-Haul all year. All season, not just to nationals. It's all season that I'm driving the U-Haul.
Risking it all for these kids. So what about y'all? Having the 2 nationals back to back, is that something you would do again? Or would you recommend that from your perspective?
Now this is our second time doing it.
Yeah.
And I believe the sentence that was said, if we can roll the clip, was, now we just have to do 2 nationals every time. Every time we have to do 2 nationals. So is it gonna happen again? I'm sure it is. Do we recommend it? Yes, because I think it just, like the kids were saying, it gave them a chance to fix their mistakes. And I think we come up with some really great dances every single season. And just to like squeeze all the juice out of the lemon is what we like to do instead of like leaving some over and just throwing it in the trash. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe next year you might do 3 nationals.
Well, okay.
We gotta push it a little further, maybe.
2 is definitely the limit. No, we met a company that did 4 nationals. They were on their second nationals, and they had 2 more nationals to go for the season. And they had bigger props than we did. They had bigger dances than we did. Their studio was about the same size as 777 was. But they kept all their nationals in Florida.
Oh,
so they're lucky. They're in a state where a lot of nationals happen. So they're able to do that. 2 nationals probably every other year. 1 nationals every year would be how I would move forward. Nationals takes a lot out of the staff, especially because we have to be present every day. We were there every morning at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and then we don't leave until the last dance performs, whereas people are allowed to go home, enjoy the pool, be with their friends. We're still in production mode when it comes to nationals. So nationals for 2 weeks, that's all I've got.
Yeah. With there being so much going on, y'all were also shooting concepts during nationals too. What was that like, Bella?
Shooting the concept videos during nationals, it was very, well, to start off, we already had the versions for nationals, so doing like the same thing for the concept videos showed us basically what they would look like when we got to nationals. So it allowed us to also know we still have to work for it. But it was also a good experience because now we get to see what they look like forever and ever.
Okay. And what was y'all's favorite concept? Landon, what was yours?
Well, I wasn't in this one, but my favorite one was probably Me Too. I think like the setup was really nice and like they performed really well in the video.
Yeah. Camille, did you have one that you liked the most?
I like Girls.
Yeah. Why did you like that one?
Because it was like mostly like the cars. It just gave off a cool vibe.
Okay. All right. What about you, Christian?
My favorite concert video probably has to be What's the Tea.
Yeah.
I like the costumes. I like the energy that they were giving off, the setting, the lighting, just the whole music concept of itself was very nice. I like to see it.
Okay. And What's the Tea? That's the one that y'all did during the rehearsal in Snellville?
Yes.
Okay, so what was that like? What, from your perspective, what was that like? Just having to try to organize all that stuff, and then y'all are doing so much.
Yeah, the organization of it all is, while they're at their best, is why don't we catch it all on film?
Yeah.
And that way it's something that can live on YouTube forever, and they can show, dancers, what they've done. It was also, I like doing the concepts because dancers that think that they're dancing full out will be told on film that they're not. So the film
doesn't lie, people do. And those segments that we were able to see, like, okay, we need to work on these segments, or we need to fix these segments, they were able to be seen on the concepts.
Okay.
So that was great to see,
Okay.
personally. But the work of it is, I think we like to work here at 777, and it's a work thing. And it's just maximizing the moment.
Okay.
And as much as we can maximize the moment, we're gonna do it.
Yeah. All right, so Taylor, I want to ask you, we were talking about the concepts for nationals, the videos you did. You directed Me Too and also What's the Tea?
Mm-hmm.
So what was it like doing that?
We had I know for me, not Me Too, for What's the Tea, we did What's the Tea and Girls in the same night. And that same night, we also were coming off of rehearsal. And that same rehearsal was the rehearsal we found out that we had to cut the music down.
Wow.
So it was like a long day, but it was just like finding the headspace for it. And I think we had good preparation, especially because we had like our group meeting with Vic, just letting him know like what ideas I had, what ideas Mommy had, and just bringing them together and actually having it happen. I think the biggest thing was just like teaching the kids on set etiquette and learning like how directors call stuff off and how somebody else, the videographer calls stuff off and then you repeat it and then you hear it quiet down. So that was a big thing. But yeah, it wasn't too crazy, but it was a crazy night.
Yes, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to ask y'all, how do you come up with the idea of, I guess, how many concept videos you'll be shooting and which ones?
I think
we had 10.
Yeah.
We had 10 listed. We did a production meeting. I love planning. I don't believe in doing anything without a plan. So we made a list of 10 dances that we wanted to actually record.
Okay.
And then we whipped out that calendar. Then the calendar told us we can only get through 2 here,
okay,
and the rest would have to be on the road when we get to nationals. Otherwise, the kids would be bonkers. So we picked the 2 highest scoring rows.
Mm-hmm.
We picked the 2 highest scoring dances first, and then production-wise, we've always wanted to record Cinderance since it's a repeat number of ours. And then after that, we chose 2 more, but we had 10.
Okay,
on the
wow.
list.
Okay. So how long does it take to film these concept videos?
A regular concept, like if you were like going to go shoot something with like, well, we are a professional group, but if it was like a professional like aspect, it would probably take up to like 12 hours to get 1 video done.
Wow.
I want to say we got 2 videos done within 6 hours of filming.
Yeah, we did Girls and What's the Tea in 4.5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, we did The Hill in 2 hours.
Mhm.
2 hours was The Hill. We did it in about 2 hours. Me Too, about 2 hours.
Mhm.
Cinderance was rogue. It was on the run because we were being chased by hotel security. So that was fun to do for Cinderance, and people kept on walking into our shots. So we do a lot of rogue things on because we didn't have a permit to shoot. So we couldn't shut that area down. But 2 to 3 hours, and I would say that the kids did amazing.
Okay.
Like etiquette wise, we told them at What's the Tea, when you watch What's the Tea, you can't breathe in that room. That room was not a room that you can breathe in. It had no air condition. It had no sound, like sounds like you were deafening. Like it just was really hard to hear. But we made sure to put like Gatorades and water in the freezer and the refrigerator. The kids promised not to complain, and they didn't complain, not in front of us. They didn't complain. And once that happened, I think What's the Tea was easy to shoot because we weren't hearing complaints. When we told them to hit their spot, they hit their spot, and they knocked it out the park.
Yeah, great. Okay, I do want to introduce, we have another dancer who has joined us, Kyler. How are you doing?
Good.
All right, welcome. Okay, I want to talk about CAR. That was a big deal, obviously. So there were a lot of changes that happened, specifically changing up the supporting women?
Supporting women, well, first, I wasn't even here to learn the dance, so I wasn't there, or did I know, like, anybody to understudy. So then Taylor made cuts because supporting women wasn't doing good at competition. Well, it wasn't doing good at
It wasn't
all.
doing good in rehearsal.
Yeah.
Right there.
We just made cuts, and then I was in the dance, and it was stressful because we had learned the dance like a few days before competition, and like we didn't have that much time to clean it, so it was kind of stressful, but we pulled it off.
Yeah. You talk about it being a little bit stressful, but you pulling it off. Are there ever moments where something like that happens, you think, I don't know how we are gonna pull this, like I don't know how we're gonna do it?
Yes, it is moments like that, but Taylor, she told us that we had to push through it for the couple of days that we had.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they underestimate themselves when it comes to stress. I don't think it's stressful. I think it's challenging. You know, I know as like their age group is probably stress is something that they feel like is so big, but challenging, yes, something that they can handle without a doubt. And I think that as our dancers progress and they leave us, they're going to understand that what we're putting them through is nothing like what the world's about to throw at them. And they're so much more prepared for life than they understand. So they're more talented than they know. We would not give you a dance a few days before if we wanted you to fail. We'll give you a dance a few days before because we know that you can kill it. Because if you learn it, you execute it, it will come out the way it needs to, and we will win. We're not in the business of losing, we're in the business of winning. So I think our dancers, I hope they get to watch this season back, and although we had all these trials and tribulations, this is not something that they cannot get through. This is life, this is their talent, and they can definitely push through it for sure.
Yeah, I think they definitely just need to change their vocabulary, especially because they love saying like, oh, this is stressful and this, that, and third. And I think just switch what you say. And I tell them this all the time. That's why they're like, she told us to push through. Yeah, I told them, stop saying like, I can't. Because if you can't, then just don't do it.
Right.
Like, just don't do it at all. Get out. Like, just don't do it. And it's just such a thing, like, especially moving into the next season, I told them, change the way that y'all talk about yourselves, about each other, because you are what you say you are, literally. Like, you say, oh, I'm not gonna do good, oh, I'm gonna do this. Like, I think especially Bella and Landon, I worked with them very closely this season. Yeah, I worked with them very closely this season, and our biggest thing was how you talk. Like, you're gonna get what you say you're gonna get. Yeah. And if for the whole month leading up to it, you say you're gonna get something, then it happens, huh? Yeah,
it's life, and it's great. You know, we're working with kids, right? They're not adults yet, and that's where the grace comes in, and that's where we're learning to teach them those teachable moments, like you are what you say, and you know, hopefully we're shaping a new set of adults that are coming out that can just speak differently to the youth and speak differently about themselves.
Yeah. Okay. Now I wanted to ask. When you guys go out there and you give it everything you have, whether you have some doubts and whatnot about it, what does it feel like when you're off the stage after you work so hard? What kind of feelings? What goes through your mind when you get off that stage after going to nationals and you gave it everything you had?
Type of feelings, I would say like more like relief. Just coming off that stage, especially when you give it your all, you're just like, okay, I did it. I know I made a couple of mistakes, but I'm not gonna let that get the better of me. Yeah. So let's just wait until the results, see what I get, and then just keep it moving. Yeah. You get what you get.
Okay. So what do you do, like if you have another dancer, one of your friends, and you see that they, for whatever reason, maybe they're down about how they, perceived their dance to go. How do you help everyone else kind of keep their morale and stay motivated in times like that?
I would like just talk to them like, hey, I know you need to do this good, but we have this other dance coming up. How about we focus on that? And then when we get back to practice, we can work on what you messed up with this dance. I don't ever want to put them down, because that's just gonna affect their whole competition, and then they're gonna do their solo bad, and they're gonna do this dance bad, that dance bad. So it's really important to like lift dancers that are in their head a lot, to like get out of your head and focus on the next dance.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, you guys definitely won big at CAR. Can you tell me about some of the things that you guys won and how you feel about that? Who did what?
I think supporting women won. They actually were first in their category after we made the changes. They won the top of their category, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And that was something different to see. They were a dancer that missed the performance or wasn't in it. Parents try to get us to restage it for dancers, and that's not going to be a thing. Not the day
at
of
competition.
At competition.
Yeah.
But CAR was amazing for that. So it showed that the changes that we made for supporting women, which is changing the music, changing the choreography, definitely did them justice.
Okay. Now, how many titles did you guys win with that one?
With supporting women?
Or with at CAR?
Oh, at CAR in general?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Lots, is it?
Joshua won Mr. Elite Dance.
Okay.
Kyler won Mr. Teen Dance. Seven Tween won Elite 12-year-olds.
Okay.
Elite 9 and under.
No, we were 9 and
sorry.
under.
Yeah, 9 to 12.
The minis won the 9 and under.
Yeah, 10
The
to
minis
12.
won 9 and under in best choreography.
Okay.
And then 7 Tween won 12 and under.
Okay.
12 and under, the big 7-foot trophy. Both Elite Dances, Tums and the Hills made it to top 5.
Oh, wow.
Which was amazing. Some Premier members were in the Hill, so the Hill made top 5 as well. It feels like we won everything we wanted to win, that we were supposed to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It feels like that to me too. I feel like y'all won a lot.
Well, in perspective, we register 40 to 60 dances per competition.
Oh, wow.
As a competition studio size, we're 110 dancers. So we are more in the larger categories than in the smaller categories. So we did really, really well.
Yeah. Do you feel like y'all win a lot more than a lot of the other people you compete against?
I think people don't read the rules and they don't know how to put their schools in the proper categories. Some people are also scared to go into other categories that we're not scared to go into. So it's important to register your kids in the right categories and then maximize that category. To qualify to win big trophies at a lot of these competitions, you have to have a solo, a duo, trio, a small group, a large group, and a production.
Okay.
So we make sure we check off all those boxes, and that way that makes us a qualifier.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Kyler, I wanted to ask you about how you felt winning Mr. Dance. What was that like?
It felt good winning Mr. Dance.
Yeah.
It felt like through the whole season I did good.
Yeah.
And I won my trophy.
Yeah. What was going through your head when you found out that you won? What were you thinking?
I was just in shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Shaywa? With you guys winning, what were your thoughts about that?
I was really excited because when we first did our dance, we got second, but then when we went to the finals, we won, and we were all really happy, and I was excited.
Yeah. Did you expect to win, or were you thinking maybe you might, or?
I was thinking that we might win because the other dance was really good, but I feel like we also did really good and better than the first time. So I wasn't like surprised when we won. I was just like extra happy.
Tell them.
Yeah.
She was like, if we didn't win, we flipping these tables because we knew we were supposed to be winning. Tell them.
Sometimes when you're a performer, dancer, whatnot, things don't always go as planned. So Bella, Landon, and Camille, we have some footage to show you guys of something that, maybe just didn't go the way you thought it would go. And I want to see what you guys think about that. So take a look at this footage. your thoughts watching that playback? What happened? I mean, we saw what happened. How did it happen?
Because you see they landed it the first time.
Okay, so I think this day we were doing this thing where like one company had to like do another company's dance, and that was a lift from Elite's Dance Tongues. So we were practicing it so that like when we showed them it would look good. So I could tell it didn't really go how it was supposed to go. And at this point we're kind of used to dropping Camille. It's happened on stage before. Real. And she like lays out the same way every time. She just looks dead.
Oh, that's so true.
So Camille, what were you thinking when it happened? Just, you know.
I actually thought that it was gonna go well because
Mind you.
in one of the other dances we did that lift, but it didn't go well.
Yeah. But you were okay, like you got up. You bounced up like a cat pretty quickly.
I'm kind of used to it.
Okay. All right, so moving on from that hilarious blooper, we're gonna talk about the Star Showcase. So what were y'all's thoughts on that, the ones who participated?
I thought it was pretty cool that we got a chance to go in the showcase because it was pretty fun, and we had to wake up really early every day.
How early?
It started at 7, and it was really early for me, so I had to drink some coffee, and but it was still pretty fun.
Okay.
Tired, I think it was really fun, but I didn't like the waking up part because I wanted to sleep. But besides that, I thought it was fun, and it was cool because it was something I never experienced. So I think it was a pretty fun experience.
Yeah.
And Camille was in the Star Showcase.
It was fun because the different people that was like selected to be in the Star Showcase, they were like elite like dancers, and like one of them was like a college dancer, and she was so good. It was just like, wow, like this is what like dancers could like actually be at a young age.
Okay, so what all went into preparing for that? Like, how did you prepare? Shayla.
Waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, huh?
Yeah, waking up at 6, and just when I get to just start stretching and going over the choreography that we already went over.
Okay. Y'all talked about having to wake up just really early. When it comes to sleeping, do you ever get like nervous the night before and have a hard time going to sleep?
Yes.
Or yeah.
Sometimes it was like the first day that I had to go, and I had the jitters, but after that it was fine.
What do you do to get through that?
I just talk to my friends about it, and then it like helps me calm down. And by the time we get on stage, I'm like, this is it, so let's get through with it.
Okay. All right, and then for the final performance, what did you learn about yourself as a dancer?
I learned that even though it might be hard, I learned that if I just like stay focused, I can actually do a dance in just 1 week and actually look good doing it.
Yeah. Okay. What about y'all?
I learned that it's okay working with different people that you never worked with before, and you just gotta get used to like different people and dancing with them.
All right, so now we're going to talk to the elite company dancers. What was it like on your end, as far as having to like shoot so much during this time and being an elite company member? How did you handle all of that at one time?
It was a lot going on. We just kind of had to pick and choose like what was priority at the moment. So like if we're working on a concept video, we need to focus on that choreography and like the positions for that at that moment, and then like later on after we're done shooting the concept video, then we can focus on like, oh, we need to restage this dance, or we need to work on this and clean this. So it's just kind of like picking and choosing what's important in that moment.
Okay. What about you?
When it came down to doing everything, like Terrence said, kind of picking and choosing what's important. Yeah. And kind of at the same time, when we did concept videos, we would fine tune and clean just so the shot looked good. So then just applying that to when we danced. So it was just a lot, but we were able to do it and manage it very well.
Okay. Now, do you ever feel overwhelmed with having to do all that and the social media and then do interviews and whatnot while keeping on top of, everything else you have going on? Does it ever feel a little bit overwhelming? And if so, how do you manage that?
Yes, it is very overwhelming at times because sometimes we'll be backstage trying to like go over choreography and like fix positions, and then somebody will come up to us and be like, okay, we need to get this interview in real quick before you guys go on stage, or like we'll be after a dance and we'll try to go back to the dressing room and they're like, wait, but we need to talk to you guys about this dance before you guys go back to. So it's like we kind of just have to like stop, take a deep breath, and just.
If Talia was here, Talia would tell you that she'd be like, no, get away, we'll do it later. Talia manages for her company.
Yeah, well, you got to learn how to say no sometimes. So I wanted to ask you, Christian, how did it feel to have two of the dances qualify?
For two of the dances to qualify
For Star Showcase.
For the Star Showcase, it was, I wasn't really like shocked when it did qualify, because Elite, they're all just like amazing dancers and they all put everything on the floor the first time, and hearing those dances come back, I was just like, oh, obviously they came back because they're like really good dancers, and they just do it and execute it the first time, and they love to dance. It shows when they dance on the stage.
Okay, so which one did you think was going to win, like if you had to pick one?
I think Tongues.
Yeah.
I think Tongues would have won, because I think with the emotion, especially with like Josh running around, doing his own stuff on that stage, hip flipping, hollering, stomping, messes you up sometimes, but you just have to get used to it. And all the emotions that they put on the stage is just so overwhelming to the judges that it's like, oh my God, this dance is like amazing, and I knew that was gonna win for sure.
All right, and then what did you guys find out about the scoring, and how did that make you feel?
Were you there?
I don't even think I was there.
Christian got whisked out of nationals.
Yeah,
it was his brother's birthday.
Yeah, I think because when I was actually on the backstage, I think my mom came up to me. She was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm gonna go to the theater." No! Your brother's birthday's today. They go now. And I was just like, they were all staring. I was like, "Okay, mom, my people are staring at us. You can't make a scene right here doing this." And she just said, she did the whole like Hispanic thing. Like she was talking in Spanish, like get him out of the like, okay, it's time to go.
So Christian wasn't there, but when we were celebrating Seven Tween winning, we found out the scores of the order, and the order was that Tongues was second place. Yeah. So to find that out,
oh my gosh, we were so excited because we thought that we were just like, oh my gosh, like we didn't win. We were like, man, did it really actually look bad? And then they told us that we got second place. We were like, oh, okay, we actually did good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
In our own heads.
Yeah.
I think they always do, and that's the second thing about self-talk, right?
Yeah.
And it's self-talk from home, it's self-talk at the studio, it's within yourself. Like, we just all have to just know that I am top 5 over 400 dances. Let's just be clear. 400 dances are in my category. I've made it to top 5. That's already victory in my book. And then for me to like make it to the showcase, to do it again, there are people that went home that couldn't do their dance again. And then when they walked off stage from doing Tongues, I know the feeling was like, we killed it, right? So knowing that I'm walking off stage and we killed it, you already won. So I think once they found out that it was second, it was just like, just the sprinkles for them. And they started doing the Jesus dance and, you know, catching the Holy Ghost and all that stuff. But it was well worth it.
Okay. Now, do y'all feel like Carr prepared you for Showstopper?
Yes.
And if so, like how, in what way?
Well, I don't know. I feel like for us, it was more so like we were able to see like what all went wrong and what went right. So we were able to like fix it before we went into Showstoppers, and we were able to like kind of look back at the videos and be like, hey, let's fix this up, let's touch this up, let's look at this again. So
So when you guys were at CAR, there were some racist incidents that were happening. Can y'all just sort of talk about what happened?
Yeah, so CAR is, this national is located in Tennessee, Pigeon Forge. And this was a weird kind of setting because normally at a nationals, there'll be assigned dressing rooms, or maybe, I'm not gonna say normally, what I'm used to is experiencing if you have a team over 100 kids, that there's an assigned dressing room. We try to book a dressing room in advance. That way we can kind of like alleviate the drama, and that wasn't able to happen. So when we got to CAR, the culture of dressing room is a dance mom world. Dance moms run the dressing rooms. It's not normal for studio directors or teachers to be in the dressing room because dance moms run it. So basically there's pop-up cities, and I say pop-up cities where you have your dream duffel bag and you pop it up so it can hold your costumes, and you make kind of like a tent for yourself. And through that room, there are a bunch of pop-up duffel bags. 777 Dance, we don't do the pop-up culture. I like the kids to be able to see each other. We like to use the space to rehearse. People are upset about that in itself. But so within 40 to 50 kids, we'll take over probably half of a dressing room. If we're not in the dressing room, it looks like the dressing room is desolate, like there's no one in there. We had dancers on the stage or on standby to go on stage. A mom and another mom comes in and sets up in our area. She's told that the dressing room is being occupied by other dancers that are on stage. She tends to, throw hands and gestures.
Oh, okay. So I was like, what kind of throwing hands? Like,
yeah, not to take off my earrings, throw hands, not that yet. But when it happens, I don't talk to dance moms. I'm a studio owner. It can be taken different ways. It can be taken like I'm trying to steal a dancer. It can be taken like I'm trying to teach another culture. So I only speak to studio owners. I asked to speak to their studio owner. And when the studio owner came in, it just became even more irate. And we had to get the directors of CAR Pigeon Forge involved. And Beatrice was one of the directors, and she was amazing with facilitating the conversation. And I don't think it was a misunderstanding. I think it was an understanding that we were about the shits. And we're about that life, and we're about our kids' lives. And what you're not gonna do is come in and disrespect our kids. Yeah. So what happened in the process of it all was that the rest of the weekend, we're being, we have scowling looks or words being said by dance moms about our dance studio that we can't afford dream duffel bags, and we're the poor studio. And it was all being said because we were a Black studio, basically. Whether that wasn't the conversation. The conversation was, this was our space, don't disrespect it. And yes, we have just as many kids as you have, but we choose to push our bags against the wall and stretch right here. So it will be the same kind of culture. Unfortunately, all season, this has been a thing for us. And I'm not gonna say racially, but just in Pigeon Forge, I wanna say a kudos and a thank you to CAR for handling that manner immediately. It wasn't something that they let linger. It was something that they made sure to tell everyone they didn't appreciate. The studio owners then apologized to us, and we were able to move on for the weekend. Okay. But dressing rooms for sure has been an issue all season long. Yeah, for 777.
So in the future, like if you had to see those dance moms again, do you anticipate that same behavior out of them, or do you think
I would play Crime Mob, Nucky Few Buck as my theme song as I walk through the hallway. So yes, I anticipate it being the same. Yeah. And we were the ones that made it to the Star Showcase, and they did not. So they were the ones that didn't clap for us, and it's okay, but we were the ones that were able to show them that we were here to dance. It wasn't about the dressing room.
Yeah.
It wasn't about anything else, and we weren't trying to be disrespectful. But I think what people don't understand, what we deal with as a Black dance studio, is that, you know, we're not only here at a competition because we can afford it or we paid for it, but our kids go through other things in the dressing room that they have to hear from other adults talking about them. And those are other issues we have to address while we're at competitions. And it should not be something, however, it is the world that we're in.
Yeah. How do you prepare the kids to deal with that going into competitions? Just knowing that that's a possibility, you know?
I think it's important how we show up as adults in that, like if we lose it, our kids lose it. In that instant, I didn't lose it. It was just like, I need to speak to the studio owner. And that was the studio owner that was losing it. And I was like, then we need to speak to the director. And she was like, well, we're speaking to the director. And we good. And I was like, oh, are we? Are we good? Sally? Are we good? Becca? So, you know, I just remained cool, which made our kids remain cool. Now, when we got outside, I was no longer cool. I made sure to let them know that I'm about my kids and keeping it all cool. But I think preparing them for it, I don't know. I think we have those conversations. I don't know. You guys can tell us more. But we do. I feel like we have conversations like that. I don't want to speak for them. Yeah. So.
Anybody want to?
I don't think we like specifically have conversations about it. I think there's just like certain examples where like we're maybe at competition and somebody comes up to us and tells us that we can't rehearse here. Like they don't let them talk to us. They have they say we have to talk to an adult, and like, or maybe Taylor or Miss Tamara isn't there, so Talia handle it for us or something like that.
Yeah. Do y'all think that, you know, obviously there's probably, you know, the racial component too, but also the fact that y'all are just maybe better dancers than they are. Could they be jealous too?
I think most of the time they underestimate us. So when we actually get on stage and they see that we can dance, that's when it all comes in and like everything starts flowing in, and that's mainly where it comes from.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll say that our kids are like, they're kind.
Yeah.
They're kind kids. Like, they're nice to people. When people come on stage, they tell them, good job. That was really good. If it was good, like,
I said if it was good.
No, if it was good, we're saying like, that was great. Like, you guys killed it. Yeah. Like, they're kind in that respect. And I love seeing that in them. And I from what Landon said, like, we don't let people talk to them. They're right. We don't let people come close to them because we don't want them to feel that. Yeah. We want to catch it before they catch it.
And no adult should be coming to a child anyway.
And that's dance moms, you know, they watch too much TV, and these dance moms feel like they can tell you where to rehearse. Like, you're a dance mom. Your focus is your dancer, right? My focus when I'm in the room as a studio owner are all the kids. It's not just one kid. It's all the dancers. It's a community. And I think that's where it kind of loses in translation. Yeah. And there are some studio owners that don't have a handle of their dance moms. Our dance parents, they're not allowed in the dressing room. It's like that for a reason, because they're not here also when we rehearse. So they don't know what it takes to get Taryn ready to be thrown the way Camille tried to get thrown, right? They don't know what it takes for me too to get ready on the side of the stage and get so confident that they're bobbing and bubbling over. They don't know what it takes. And our dance moms, they play their role. Like, I'm not downing what dance moms are. Like, our dance moms had the snacks. They have the drinks. They also handle that audience when other dance moms are talking crazy. They're out there handling our business in the front of the house. Yeah. So with that, we're all handling it, you know, where we're supposed to be. So I just think it's the nature of the beast, which is dance competition, and dressing rooms can be a nasty place.
Yeah. I definitely think our kids just like the way our studio handles competition is different from other studios. Like, though we are very serious with each other, after everybody's dances are done, we're like, and I think the kids can attest, like, we're like joking for the rest of the competition. Like, we're at awards, we're joking around until it's time for our category. And I think that bothers other studios because they're like, why aren't y'all serious about what you're gonna get? And we're like, girl, we felt like we did good, so whatever they say, we're just gonna be like, hey, or we're like, damn, you don't like us. And it's just,
Yeah.
I think people sometimes are thrown off by that. And so it makes it like, they're weird. They don't even this, and the third. Like, I think it was Precision. We were at Precision and we were backstage like acting a fool. We were eating candy grapes. We were playing games. And it was a long segment.
Yeah.
And I think another studio, they moved. They were like on our side. They moved to a total other side because they were like very serious about their awards.
Yeah, we were talking too much.
Yeah, we was having fun.
And between Taylor and I like to be backstage with our dancers, but I can see what they're going through if something's happening. So I'm always on the side. They always look to see like, one of them here. But we like to just be on the side just in case to buffer all the outside noise. Because this is also fun. Mm-hmm. It should not feel like a job that, we're so upset if we get certain things. So it's just a different culture.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now I want to talk about the fact that, y'all do have some haters, but there's also some people who have been showing y'all a lot of love too. So you've been featured on different social media websites, like Cars website. How do y'all feel about that?
I feel great. I just feels like all the hard work that we've been putting in this season is being recognized. It's, where they're seeing that our dancers are superior to most and that we are actually someone that you should watch out for when we walk through the doors at a competition. So I love it. I love seeing the dancers get their recognition and being called great technical dancers, not just like we're great at hip hop. We're great technical dancers, and I think it's something great to see.
Yeah. So do y'all go to a lot of competitions and people already know who you are? Like when you just get there, it's like, okay, that's 777.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
That's really cool.
They do. And then they ask, where are the cameras? I don't see their cameras. But I love to see that. And then we have some, like now, as long as we've been in business, we have people that we're excited to see at competition.
Yeah.
So we know like, oh, this company's here. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be a good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you hoping to see next season as far as like the dances and everything?
I just want to see progress. Like from looking at my dances last year and from this year, I want to see how much I've grown.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back with the 7 tween dancers, and we'll see what's going on with them next. Welcome back. We are here with our 7 tween elite champions and also Taylor Rose. Can you introduce yourselves again? We have, was it Shaywa,
Yes.
Aaron,
and Navi. All right. Okay, so tell me about Me Too, that dance.
Me Too is just such an amazing dance. I loved it. I loved how it shows my personality and like a bunch of sassiness and stuff. And I especially love the concept video because it like really, we wore pajamas, we were in bunk beds, we were walking around. It was like really fun.
Yeah.
Me Too is just like really sassy jazz, entertaining dance, and even though it was very tiring, every time we saw ourselves on like video, I was like, wow, we actually did pretty good. And I thought we deserved most of the wins that we got, and I'm glad that we had that dance.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like Me Too is very sassy and it requires a lot of energy. Because of that, we have to work extra hard and we have to just go full out all the time or we won't execute it like the way we're supposed to.
Yeah. Now that dance, it qualified for the Star Showcase at CAR. Can you tell me how that made you feel?
That made me feel pretty proud because we had worked all season for this moment. and I'm really glad that we got to qualify in the showcase.
Yeah.
I felt very proud of myself and the whole team because, like Navi said, we worked all season just for that moment. So knowing that all that hard work paid off, it felt really good.
So how did you feel when y'all qualified for the Star Showcase at CAR?
Like what Navi and Aaron said, I was very happy, and also it was our first time like dancing that dance on stage with Aaron back with us, and I was really happy that we got to get Star Showcase, and I felt like since we got that, we had another chance since we didn't win the first time, and I was very happy.
Yeah, okay. And how did you feel seeing them go through the process? Were you feeling like a proud, I guess, I don't want to say mother, but mother, like, you know?
Yeah, I was very proud of them because, like they said, that was Erin's first time back on stage in a while because of her injury. So it was getting them ready was a lot. And I want to say that when they initially did it, it wasn't that great. So I was like, oh, please pull through. And I think they agreed. Like once they got off stage, we were like, okay. We weren't on our lines. We weren't doing what we were supposed to do. So the fact that they made it was just like, okay, I guess let's see if we can really pull it off. So that's when they knew that they had to get it together after that.
All right. So what was it like backstage before y'all went on? Were you like nervous? Did you have any backstage jitters?
Before we go backstage, we like lock arms and we like when we're backstage, we like close our eyes. And Taylor tells us like to get ourselves ready and just not to talk and close our eyes. So I feel like doing that makes us focus more and like tells us to lock in. So I think that's really helpful.
Yeah.
Like what she said, we lock arms and we keep our head down so that we don't focus on whatever's going on around us. I don't want to hear if you lost a dog. We don't need to know any of that.
Yeah.
We just focus on what's happening right now in the moment.
Okay. What do you think before you go on stage, or how do you feel?
Every time before I go on stage, like they said, I'm always kind of nervous, but once like we do the thing that we always do, I calm myself down, and then when I'm on stage, I just try not to think about it, because when you overthink it, then you're not going to do the dance right. So I try to just let it go through, but actually do the movements right, and I think that helps.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, at the end of the Nationals, like when they announce who's the winner and you hear your music being played, what was going through your head at that moment? What were your first thoughts?
I don't even know. I was holding, my mom was holding the camera, and I was like, don't record, because if they don't win, like I know, she's like, I'm gonna record anyways. And I'm like, okay. And I was actually sick that morning, because just like the traveling and being in different like altitudes was a lot. And I was, I think I screamed so much that like mucus like flew out of my throat, and I felt better. I felt all cleared up. So it was definitely like a big weight lifted off my shoulders. Competition is very anxiety forward, especially for like choreographers and teachers, because you're hoping that you prepare them enough for whatever competition they are going up against. So once it's like you're able to hear like against 400 other dancers, they were able to still come out on top. It felt good. Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then speaking of like the jitters and everyone being a little bit nervous, which is normal before a competition, I know you bring Willow with you to support Dog.
Yeah.
Does she help with the girls and helping everybody be calm?
Willow thinks that all 7 of them are her babies. She sits in their rehearsals. Yeah. They can tell you like Willow's always sitting in rehearsal, and she like looks at them, and when they're messing up, she's like. So Willow definitely like calms them down. I know like Navi, she senses Navi a lot. Like if Navi's nervous or if Navi's going through something, Willow like nudge Navi to come over there, and Navi's like petting Willow. So I mean she helps y'all a lot, like when just to pet her and take your mind off of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so do you feel that CAR helped kind of prepare you guys for this other competition?
Yeah, I think it really prepared us, because once we saw that we could win and we had the ability to, we tried to do that again at Showstoppers, and not just like resting on what we won, but like just striving that to make us be better.
Yeah, like I would still be very grateful and happy for the next nationals if we won like the top 5.
Yeah.
And like, cause there was a whole lot of dances in our category, and I would still be happy with what we got. But like, we shouldn't just throw our ability to win away when we go to the next competition. Like, oh, we got this, and we go off stage doing that. Like, we still need to apply it, and yeah.
Yeah. Now, did you ever feel just really tired? Like, I don't know if I can do this, or were you energized and ready to go for the next week?
Well, we drove the car to Florida instead of taking the plane, so it was kind of stressful and I was a little bit tired. But like by the time I got there, I started doing some jumping jacks and stuff, like getting myself ready, and like that was really energetic.
Did you have your coffee?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I'm always kind of tired, but just like once we actually get to the competition, like as soon as I walk through the door, like I just get more energized. And even if I'm not like fully ready, once we go through the dance and we stretch and everything, I get more energized and it shows on stage.
Yeah. Okay.
For me, I feel like once I got to my Airbnb in Florida, I was just like in a mode like once I leave my home and I just go into competition mode.
Okay.
And I just set my mind on one thing, and that's competition, not worried about getting in the pool. Competition will be my first priority to think about once I get there. So
yeah, 17 was in an Airbnb altogether. So like before we would go to competition, we would like meditate in the circle and talk about what we could improve there from the last competition.
Okay. All right. What about you? Because obviously you pour a lot of your energy and everything into the kids and just into all of this, preparing, doing the choreography. How was it for you to go from one national to the next, just as someone who is over the girls? What kind of toll does it take on you?
I mean, I think I like downplay it when I'm talking about it in like my everyday. I'm like, oh, it's nothing, and it's because like I'm so in love with competing. I'm in love with dance. But like taking a step back from it, and as like more things go on within my life, I do realize like the anxiety that has grown on me since, and just like being able to like I tell the kids, honestly, talking to the kids and walking them through it is like walking myself through it. And I tell them, take it day by day. Like, if you feel bad about a loss, because it's not just them feeling bad about it. I feel bad about it because I'm like, what can I do and say that's going to trigger them to do what they need to win? Because just telling kids, like, you need to do better, you need to do this, they don't ever, it's never like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do better, I'm going to do this. It's like, what words actually trigger, like, okay, you need to move like this, you need to do that. So I think it's just changing my vocabulary as well, talking to them, and just taking it day by day. Day by day. Every day is exciting, so just taking it day by day.
Yeah. And how important is it to you for them to see that example of you sort of working through it as an adult and telling them, also coaching them at the same time? How important is, I guess, that skill that you have to help them?
Yeah, I think it's super important for them to see me like not really lose it. Because if they see me lose it, then they're all over the place like, what's wrong? I don't know what's happening. I don't know this. And that's why, especially with me and mommy, we have to like have a strong front together. And if they see that we're cool, we're good, then they're all good. But if they see that we're like panicking or we're upset about something, then it's really hard for them to like just turn their face and like move on from it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We had a great time talking about your success, and congratulations again, everyone. And stick right there. We'll be back with another great interview. Welcome back to the Season 3 Wrap Show for StudioTypes, Raising the Bar. I'm your host, Martina White. Today we have Taylor Rose and Ezra. We're going to just talk about a little bit of what happened with them this season. All right, let's get to it. Hey, how are y'all doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good. All right, let's just get straight to it. Okay, so I want to know, what was it like to work together to choreograph Shake It? How did y'all come up with that concept, and just what was it like putting it together?
Whew. Shake It was definitely a really fun number. First off, straight off of a plane, went straight to the studio. Taylor came and picked me up, and we got straight to work. And I will say, like, anytime the kids know that we have choreography week when it's me and Taylor, they're already naturally excited. So it's always definitely good energy. And, hip hop, that's like something that I'm really, really good at. So it was always easy to just pick up on the vibes that the kids were giving and just go from there. And we really had a good time.
Yeah. All right, Taylor, what was it like? You thought of the concept. What was it like when you went to Ezra and sort of explained what you were thinking?
Me and Ezra honestly just like bounce off of each other when it comes to ideas. So I think I just like gave him the idea of what we were doing, and he was just like, all right, cool, what else? And there was really nothing more to it. So yeah, it was pretty cool. It was fun. It was a fun dance to choreograph.
Yeah. And I wanted to know, what were the parents like? What did they think when y'all presented the idea? Like, was there any parental pushback, and what did the girls think about it as well when y'all presented that to them?
The parents really, I think they had a lot of fun with it. They were like dancing in the audience and honestly partying like they were at their own kind of party. And then as far as the kids go, I think they were just excited to do a production. They haven't did a hip hop production for a long time. I think the last one was Janet, and then the one before that was Vogue. So it was just like they finally got a chance to do a hip hop production. So they were actually really excited.
Yeah. Okay. And I wanted to ask y'all, what was your favorite routine to choreograph this season?
Oof. My favorite is definitely was the T. If you was to ask me to put my personality in a dance, it would probably be that one. And it was just fun to create, definitely with Taylor, because like once we like, have you ever like had an idea, but then that idea you kept expanding off of that idea, and we just started to get more. We like started to come up with the more hype we got, and not to mention, like I said, like the kids love working with us. So once they seen the choreo, heard the song, it was just nothing but good energy. And then when I saw the dance like come to life on stage, I was like, wow, like this was definitely a good time, and those kids really did an amazing job. So that's definitely my favorite dance.
Yeah.
My favorite dance to choreograph this season was probably Tongues. It was just really fun to do another one of like my signature style, and it was a little like out of the box. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Ezra, I wanted to ask you about your experience working with the boys to choreograph their dance routine this season. What was that like for the boy band?
So it was nothing short of amazing. I love working with the boys. And I will say working with the boys definitely hits a little different for me, because when I grew up dancing at 777, it was just me and Josh was a baby, so I didn't really have much like guy friends or like, like guys that were dancing that were my age that I had to like lean on and, work with. So I think it's so cool that like the population for boys at 777 is growing. So when Tamara gave me the opportunity to work with him and create a trio for them, I was so excited, especially because those boys are so talented and they're capable of so much greatness. So it was so much fun to be able to just go in there and not only choreograph for them, but like, give them some gems, just what's going to happen in life as you continue your career, and being able to just be a part of their journey, like in their dance career and their future endeavor. So it was amazing.
Yeah. Okay, and I wanted to ask both of you guys, how important is it for male dancers to have that male representation?
I definitely think that it's important, because we don't have, especially being, Black and a dancer, technical dancer at that, we don't have a lot of representation. Versus like, my beautiful Black women, we have the population compared to that is low. So it's always been one of those things that, when you see one, you look out for them, and I definitely think it's a great thing because a lot of the male teachers that have trained me growing up are the reason, one of the main reasons why I'm here today. So I definitely think it's a great thing to know that hey, I was once where you were at and look at me now, So I think that it's a great thing to show that it is possible to have a career in dance and to push and keep inspiring and hopefully bring other Black boys into dancing too.
Yeah. What about you, Taylor?
Yeah, I think it's really important for the boys to have somebody to lean on because, like as we were saying, for boys in this industry, it's easy in some ways, but it's really hard for them on another area because there's 1,000 girls in the industry. There's so many, a million even, that are dancers. But as far as male dancers go, there's not that many, especially good male dancers. So for our boys to be good, trained male performers, be able to lean on somebody that's actually working through the industry and, making money with this career, which is not common for boys. Their dads their dads and their moms go do something else. Dance, you're not gonna make no money off of. So for them to actually be able to be with Ezra and see him come back and tell his stories about the fact that he's making money in the industry is pretty big for them, and they need it. I think all the boys, every boy in the dance community should have an older person to lean on.
And another thing I wanted to ask y'all about was, I feel like a lot of people who maybe aren't in the dance industry or have never had experience with dance, they wouldn't really know about maybe the favoritism that some boys or male dancers experience. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Does that exist? And I guess in what ways is there favoritism towards male dancers?
Yes, it definitely does exist. It also goes to, even if we were to take away Black dancer and just put male dancer in general, it's still, the ratio is still lower than females. And so it's always giving a helping hand. So when you're at competition and they see that you're the only boy on the team, or they love giving the scholarship or giving you that extra point, as Taylor calls it, B points, and it's definitely a real thing, but I will always say, and not in all cases, especially because in this day and age, it's definitely more common to see a lot of male dancers, especially at competition nowadays. So I will say there is definitely favoritism, but there are going to still be moments where you still have to work for it and still prove your point and what you bring to the table as a dancer. But yes, 100%, I do agree. There's some favoritism.
Do y'all get a lot of the female or girl dancers? Do they complain about that, or do they just sort of accept it and move on?
Not really a lot at our studio. Do they compare about oh, the boys get favoritism? Because I just think our studio, I don't know, I think 777 in general, the way we raise our dancers is not the, what you would say, typical way dancers are raised. So I think other studios, when the girls walk backstage and they see Joshua turning, they're okay, we give up. He's gonna win it. This is third.
Yeah.
When it's it's just not that deep. I feel that I think a lot of people think that dance should be how other sports are. They're separated by gender, and they feel the boys should have their own overalls and the girls should have their own overalls. And I just think that's just not fair when it comes to dance. But that is just a bigger umbrella to talk about.
All right. Well,
against each other.
Okay. So do you guys have anything, are y'all working on anything for next season? Any new pieces together?
Yes.
All right. So we'll just have to stay tuned, okay?
Yes.
I can't wait. All right. Thank you guys for watching the StudioTypes Season 3 Wrap Show. I'm your host, Martina White, and we look forward to seeing you on Season 4.
That gotta be baby.
VIP. Stretching early morning, this hard work isn't foreign. Natties and scholarships, ain't nothing else important. Passion to be the best, dance, I'm a notch on the wrist. Passe, stay high and tight, Miss T, don't play that mess. Gotta prove your your worth in class, it be center stage. I put in time on these fortes and I'm mid-made. Stay on point in every style, let me demonstrate. Second to none, and I put that on the quasi. I gotta give it my all. I wanna be responsible for one of the plaques on the wall. One trophy ain't enough, need my name engraved on the mall. Nothing's out of my reach. Miss T lace me with this poured up bra. Strong core on point, but I never fall. Shot say to the phone whenever destiny calls. Cause I wanna be the GOAT. So whether they on stage or in class, the mission's no look. 777s, yeah, you know who we are. Expectations for greatness, aiming them for Mars. So at minimum, we landing on the stars. Yesterday limits ain't today, so we gotta raise the bar. 777s, yeah, you know who we are. Expectations for greatness, aiming them for Mars. So at minimum, we landed on the stars. Yesterday limits ain't today, so we gotta raise the bar. Dreamers a dream, work the hamstring. Solo at national, my team can trust me. Every day trying to level up the repertoire. So every class, you know that we gotta raise the bar. Being Primus the dream, work the hamstring. Solo at national, my team can trust me. Every day trying to level up the repertoire. So every class, you